Preparing to live stream the meeting. Biljana, there it is. We're live. I'm not sure that Tiger Woods is a horrible person or is a horrible person.
Well, you know why? I'll tell you why I think he's a horrible person. He was invited to the Jackie Robinson, uh, a big, huge Jackie Robinson memorial event, and
Mm,
all of the great black athletes showed up, you know, all of them. And he just didn't go because he was partying with his bro friends in California. He just is not, he's cheats on his wife. He's arrogant. He's just like, and and then the whole thing about being the he wins this thing of being the greatest athlete. But to me, there isn't a golfer that can ever be considered the greatest athlete when you've got triathletes and you've got competitors in the Olympics, doing stuff that's just amazing. Boxers, even, every basketball player. To have a golfer, it's like, it's really, I don't know. He just represents everything that I dislike. And also he went to Stanford, which is a big problem for me. Elitist Stanford.
Wait, what's wrong with Stanford?
Stanford. Well, there's a lot wrong with
Wrong,
Stanford. First of
wrong.
all, it's an elite private school. You have
Yeah,
to be really wealthy to go there.
yeah.
Um, um, they had a very bad record of admissions for minorities for the longest time. You know, restricted. They had restricted when other schools were starting to realize that it was a good thing to admit um, people that were not white and wealthy. They were still keeping the tradition of the elitist. And it's just a wealthy, privileged elitist school.
Right.
And besides, I'm a Berkeley person, so I hate him for that reason too.
Yeah, well, I mean, Berkeley,
Yeah,
that all makes sense. Berkeley's always been more cutting edge and progressive. And um, McCaffrey went to Stanford, so I mean, his Ed McCaffrey was made some good money with the Broncos. So, um, but
I'm not saying they didn't have.
the Stanford band, I mean, there's it's so kooky. It's
Yeah,
so
there's
kooky.
cute, yeah, little stuff about them. And I don't know. It's just they're, yeah, no, as an institution of higher learning and what they do. It's, of course, they're an elite educational institution. There's an old saying that they said, if you want to learn how to run a major corporation, um, go to UC Berkeley. If you want to learn how to own a major corporation, go to Stanford.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Um, there's also the enigma of Stanford, which is the Stanford Cardinal, right? So
Yeah,
Cardinal is
yeah,
they're either all just one bird
yeah.
or somehow it's plural, the cardinal. Or but then their logo is a tree, a redwood. It's clearly a redwood tree. So it's like it's really like what is
Yeah,
like,
make up your mind.
it just
Make up your
shows you
mind.
that it just shows you that college, like math and countries that matter as well, but like college mascots, um, logos, the names of their sports teams are just completely made up and meaningless. Like someone just at some point, like I mean, just
Yeah,
yeah.
the old days, way, way back when they started to develop professional teams, they had some really weird ass names that was just, they're so cool, you know. Yeah,
Well,
the,
we had weird ass names until a couple of years ago. We had the
yeah,
Washington Redskins. Like, look how long that lasted. Like,
I know.
that's insane.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I have this theory about names that it seems like if you look at the record for the Super Bowl, it seems like teams with more human mascot labels seem to win more than the animal ones. You know, like the Packers, the 49ers, the Cowboys, Steelers, Patriots. They seem to win more Super Bowls than teams like like the Broncos or the uh, you know, Jaguars, things like that. I looked it up one time, and it was pretty big disparity there.
I want to see the stats on that. I really do.
No, seriously, check it out. You'll see that they actually won more. Yes, there's been some classic examples, but if you check out like the Chiefs and the Steelers and the Cowboys and the 49ers, Patriots, you'll start to see this pattern of, and yes, there's been some Super Bowls with, or that, like the Bears and the Dolphins won some, but the majority, the big, vast majority have been teams like that, with a human kind of attribute to it. But
Uh,
there's absolutely one that you never want to name your team for, and that's a household appliance, like the Chargers. They have never won a Super Bowl because they're named after a household appliance. Like the toasters or the whatever. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah,
uh,
yeah. They have
that's
to be.
funny. I was just wondering about their name when I was watching the end of their
Yeah,
games today. No, I mean clearly the Chargers are supposed to represent something, mythical, like superhero slash mythical. Zoo because you have like Zeus, you have like cavalries that charge. Like
yeah,
it's sort of this
yeah,
amalgamation of like you know
yeah,
like again like so they don't really know what they're doing, right? They didn't
yeah.
really kick something like
Not a lot of
they're not
thought.
the lightning bolts, they're not the cavalry. They're
Hmm.
it's not something specific. It's like this vague thing of like what exactly is a charger? But yeah,
Yeah,
nowadays it's like
it's
I
a
just
household.
unplugged my phone from a charger. I did,
Yeah,
and
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah,
my
yeah,
charger also has about a 500 record. So yeah.
yeah. Yeah, now it makes sense, okay, so I see you want to have football, aggressive, tough, strong, belligerent sometimes, like a bear is scary, a lion is scary, things like that. And Bronco nine, not so much, but Eagles are, they're tough. But this dolphin, not so much, because their dolphins they're kind, they're super smart, they're friendly, they're really helpful. They're like sort of antithetical to like a football team. You don't want cute. They have that little like yeah. Other thing about the Dolphins is the Dolphins logo. The dolphin is wearing a little football helmet, which you would imagine had a dolphin on it. So it's sort of like an infinity thing going on there when you look at it because it
Yeah,
just keeps going, going, going on. And
that's
each dolphin has a football with a dolphin on
that's
it.
well. Let's talk about that for a second. So, um, first of all, they upgraded that, right? So several years ago, they got rid of the
Oh,
helmet on the dolphin
oh, okay,
and they made it more bright, right? So it's more kind of
okay,
mirror finish.
okay. So they
So,
corrected
so
that.
their so to me, their logo now is one of the best. If not the best, one of the best for sure. Because they took the freaking football. We don't want to see a dolphin with a football helmet on. We are.
Yeah,
Here's my beef. Here's my beef with things like Tampa Bay had lousy colors and a
mm,
lousy emblem for a long time.
yeah,
The Buccaneers, but it was like your Buccaneer dressed in in Miami in pastels, and it just wasn't
yeah,
convincing. Like just
yeah,
it was never swashbuckling or whatever. So
yeah,
they finally redid their colors, redid their logo. Fantastic, good colors, good. Everything's great. Except guess what? They've got they've got their two swords. I forget what the those curved broadswords are called.
Cutlass, a cutlass.
Cutlass, a couple of cutlasses, right? But guess what's right in between them in the middle, right? There's a football right here, right?
Yeah.
We
Mhm.
already know we're playing football. Okay, we don't need to like we're playing football and let's put a football on
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
our emblem. It's like,
Yeah, I know.
dude, come on, like it's
I
just
know.
like because everything's
Yeah.
a cartoon. Like nobody's like
No,
I
I get it. Yeah, I get it. The Vikings, they have a cool one. Seahawks have a cool,
yeah,
makes sense. Their this stuff. Then
yeah.
the
But there's a couple things we have to talk about there. Question first is a giant a human mascot or an animal mascot?
it's a human.
Okay, so you're saying a giant is a human
Yes.
because you're saying it's like a figurative giant then, and not like a
Well, I'm
real
saying in mythology, giants were human. I would say humanoid. I say, like it's basically in the human realm. It's not like a giant isn't an animal. It's not a dragon or something. It's a basically human type of thing.
Okay. All right. So with that in mind, um, Claude says um, human like human mascots have 39 wins and animal mascots have 15. So yeah, it's approximately it's almost three times. So the human
Yes.
mascots have almost three times the wins.
That's what I'm talking about.
But no. But what's the ratio though of
Oh, it's about even.
human mascots versus animal mascots in the NFL?
It's about even. You check that out.
Because that'd be another thing to compare it to.
Yeah, you have to look at that, of course, but it's about even. You'll
All
see.
right, now let's look at NFL teams with no Super Bowl wins. Okay,
Okay.
um, so no Super Bowl wins. Animals. We have the Lions. Um, hold on, where are we? Panthers, Bengals, Jaguars, Falcons,
There you go.
Cardinals. Um, okay, see, Chargers was originally a horse. Um, yeah, but
Okay,
now we don't.
whatever. It's
Now we don't
sort
know
of
what they refer to. Is it a
okay.
war horse? Is it a war horse? Is a Charger a war horse or is it electricity?
Well, the symbol was always that lightning bolt, as far as I remember. It was always that light way back when they started in the AFL. They always had the lightning bolt.
Okay, so the ratio for teams that have never won a Super Bowl is approximately even, right? So there's six teams um, that are animals and five teams that are human. So that one's pretty close. But there's less. There's one less that's
Yeah,
human
yeah.
than it is animal. Now, circling back to um, mascots that shouldn't exist anymore. Um, so I think Washington Commanders is cool. That's a cool, why not? Uh,
Human, right? Human.
um,
So they're human. They stayed with the human model from a redskin to a commander.
right. Okay. So we still have the Kansas City Chiefs.
They're
Um,
humans.
it's humans. They comprise. I mean, they've got three of those Super Bowl wins at least, right?
Hmm.
So I think just three because they hadn't won any before
I thought
Mahomes, I believe.
they had early on, they were one of the original winners.
One of the early winners. Yeah. Okay.
I think they won the second Super Bowl. Yeah,
Let's see. Oh yeah, the Chiefs have four. So they
that's
had
right.
one back in the day.
Yeah,
Um,
they beat the Vikings.
okay, now wait a minute. Wait a minute. Claude puts Jets in a human mascot. I'm sorry, but a jet is not a human. So we
No,
have to have
Jets.
another category.
Jets would be in this category of the Chargers.
I think Chargers were originally an animal.
Oh,
Like Chargers.
yeah. How do you get that?
It says it was originally a horse. Charger originally represented a horse. like a
Okay.
warhorse.
All
Um,
right. Back in the AFL days.
yeah. So Chargers. Um, they've never won a Super Bowl anyway, so that's a moot point. But of the winners, um, the Jets are kind of in their own category.
Hmm.
Like it's not pilots, it's not jet pilots or fighter pilots or something. It's just jets.
Yeah,
Um,
they're interesting.
yeah.
It's an interesting name.
So we'd have to remove ones. It's still, but it's 38 wins to 15, and then one miscellaneous, one machine. I guess we put like a machine category. So Jets,
Hmm.
maybe
That's right.
Chargers would.
Yeah.
Who knows what they're trying to represent now? But the stuff that is sort of meaningless, like the worst, one of the worst mascots ever is very successful, has a very successful football team, the Buckeyes. Like a Buckeye, nobody cares about a tree nut. Okay, like we're the San Jose almonds. Like it doesn't carry like, but that's an edible nut even. Like
Uh-huh.
you have a Buckeye. It's like anyway, it's like the worst, one of the worst. The worst one really is Santa Cruz. Well, there's a couple of bad ones. There's a few bad ones. Santa Cruz has one of the worst, which is banana slug. Nobody wants to be a banana slug. Like they just don't represent anything. But they don't really have much in the way of sports.
Well, do they have any teams though?
Yeah, I don't think they have much in the way of teams. So that would be something.
Yeah,
They have
I don't
actually.
think.
Maybe that's why it doesn't matter because they don't have any sports teams. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I don't think they have any
There's another
teams.
one. There's one that has a decent football team. Their mascot is the some kind of weird clam thing. It's like the clam with the neck. It's like the who is
That's
that?
eerie.
Yeah. They have a
It's,
there's sometimes a top 25
yeah,
college football team.
yeah,
The something clams, and it's just like
yeah,
it's just it's not right. It just doesn't look it doesn't look
yeah,
sporty or
yeah,
tough or like, but they just like, so it's, colleges, like when they started, like nobody cared, like, hey, what, it was all like, it's like
yeah,
naming your kid a funny name. Like
yeah,
the best one ever is probably Mr. and Mrs. Dwop, right? So they thought they were being clever. They named their kid Wayne. So their first boy is Wayne Dwop, right? So it's like that with like some of these colleges and stuff. They're just like, hey, what about like what about we're the Cardinal, or like what about if we're like the
Well, it used to be the Indians. Yeah, Stanford Indians.
oh, okay, there you go, just
Yeah,
like Cleveland.
yeah.
We sell the Cleveland
Cal.
Indians.
Yeah. Yeah, you see, Cal Bears based on the, abhorrent history of the grizzly bears, which were eliminated in California early on. There used to be grizzly bears, so the bear is kind of a symbol. UCLA, the Bruins, the Bears, the Bruins.
Yeah,
Yeah. Uh,
yeah,
so yeah, yeah, Bears are a good name.
it's
Uh,
okay. The Golden Bears, Berkeley's the Golden Bears. Yeah,
yeah.
so
I think of I think of these human ones like when I think of the Steelers, I think of, um, I think of like
yeah,
steel workers, just like, but no nonsense, kind of like real tough, hard-nosed
yeah,
steel workers.
sure. No, I mean the original two tough. I mean, two of the toughest teams in history are the Steelers and the Packers. And they're both like hardworking,
Yeah.
laboring people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the logo for the Packers should be like a butcher with a big cleaver in one hand and a knife in another, like a
Yeah,
boning knife,
they
just a
both. Yeah,
cleaver.
they
Packer,
both.
meat packer, Jeez.
They both just have like symbolic logos,
Yeah,
like just a G for Green Bay, and then
yeah,
just sort of like the three colored. I don't know what they are. The stars, the three stars.
yeah. I didn't. That doesn't make sense.
Well, it's just like
Steel.
a symbol. It's like a symbol of steel or steel industry.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like very simple and like. But I love how the Steelers they only have the emblem on one side of their helmets. I always thought that was cool.
Oh
The
yeah.
only team that just has it on one side. So like,
Yeah.
which is like it's pretty cool. Like,
Yeah.
but I think here's a team I think the mascot should go. Now they're my favorite team. Right? Because when I was a kid, I read about the fearsome foursome, right? The purple
Yeah.
people eaters,
Yeah.
Minnesota, the Vikings. So I've been a lifelong Viking fan, uh,
Hmm.
and that which made last year kind of exciting, um, and made the Randy Moss era very exciting. Um, but still, they've never won a Super Bowl. Um, Vikings, we have this weird history, white history of like revering like marauders and conquerors and
Vikings.
and plunderers
Hmm.
but you have to look at the reality of it. The reality of it is um, Vikings were um, rapists, murderers, and enslavers, right? So like kill all the men, kill all the men. You take the women and children home to your home. Well, I mean you might just take over the village right there, or you might take them away, um, and they're all enslaved.
Hmm.
They're all enslaved. So you use the women to make more children, and then but the women and children are enslaved by the
Hmm.
Vikings, and then
Hmm.
apparently if you earn the right to be a Viking warrior when you grow up, then you've been completely converted. But like,
Yeah.
come on, these are not like we still revere like the Romans and
Yeah.
the
We
Spartans and
don't.
all these
Yeah.
just they're just war
Yeah,
like
that's true. The Trojans, the Trojans,
yeah, it's this
they should have a team, the Gladiators, Oh, there wasn't there some team, I forget what sport it was. They had the Gladiators, I think. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
There's,
But to give a slight pass to the Vikings, is this that when they were at their peak of power and whatever they were doing, everybody else was pretty much the same way. It wasn't like they were much different than the other people that they were dealing with,
right.
really.
Well,
You
there's
know,
some, but there needs, but in our
we're
modern,
all like that.
but in our minds, in our
Hmm.
like not very critical thinking minds, we forget about the context for all these things. So we're just like, yeah, weapons are cool. Like victors are cool. Like if you win, you're cool. Like, but we forget the whole context of these things.
Hmm.
Like the Romans did a lot of great things, roads and waterways and all the stuff. Um, but why are they trying to take over the world anyway, though? Like this doesn't like it just doesn't make any sense. Like, well, I mean, look at Alexander. Like,
Alexander the Great. Yeah.
yeah, like, of course, there aren't any teams that are named Alexanders. There could, what I mean? That'd be kind of cool. Like, cool and stupid, but like perfect for like college football. Like, you could be like the Ohio State Alexanders.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, yeah. I think basketball teams seem, help me out with this one. Basketball teams seem to be have more of a less of a violent because they're it's not it's not inherently a violent contact sport like rugby and football, which the intent of it is is very aggressive, violent, and very very physical. Okay, so those names correspond with it, but um, I don't know about basketball. They've got the Warriors. That's a you know aggressive. Lakers, not Lakers. They're not. That's a
what's a
very passive name.
what's a Laker anyway? What is a Laker?
The 76.
People that have lakes. Yeah, I'm a Laker.
I think it's people that dwell in lakes, dwellers, lake dwellers, lake people that.
So like
They
So
have
like the Loch Ness
vacation.
monster.
They have vacation homes on the lake.
Oh,
It's,
on the
it's,
yeah, Lakers. Yeah,
it's like I'm going to go to my vacation home on the lake.
I think you're probably right. I think they tend to have more because like baseball and basketball, they're less. It's less about war. It's more
Yeah,
about skill and less
yeah,
about
yeah,
being fighting to the death. Being more
yeah, yeah. I think
fun.
so. I think, and then they have like laundry names: Red Sox, White Sox. Let's see, laundry. uh,
They don't have Bears. They have Cubs. They're the
yeah,
Cubs.
Cubs. Yeah, sweet stuff like a
Yeah.
cub. It's not like a bear. It's just a cub, a sweet cub. The White Sox, Red Sox. What's
What
a
about the
Philly? A Philly? A Philly? What's a Philly? It's like a kind of a cute thing. A Philly, right?
Yeah. Again, like not really. Like they're just made up. They don't really mean
Yeah.
anything.
A Yankee, a
What about
Yankee.
the Yankees?
Yeah,
Okay, Yankees.
it's
What
just
about
Yankee is.
the best one ever is the A's. Like it's just we
Yeah,
we couldn't think of anything, so we just went Oakland. We're in Oakland. We're athletes, so athletics. Let's just take
yeah,
the A off of athletics.
yeah. Athletics. That's a regular. That's a good name. And we're the Athletics. The yeah, we're just yeah. No, it makes sense. Yeah. Dodgers though. That's the Dodgers. What does that mean? A Dodger. There
I
was
don't
a
know.
character. There's a character in Dickens called the Artful Dodger
Right.
in Oliver Twist. So I don't know what that is. That probably you could check that out. What's a
We'd have to
Dodger
look
mean?
that up. We'd have to look that up because
Artful Dodger.
they're probably not draft dodgers. That would probably they're probably not dodgeball dodgers since they
Yeah, that too.
playing
Dodgeball.
baseball.
Dodgeball Dodgers. Yeah, yeah,
We used to play dodgeball, but we decided to just like play baseball instead.
yeah,
Um,
um, yeah. Phillies. You got the Pirates, but
okay.
yeah, the Pirates. But
Yeah.
Pirates have been, in popular culture, they've been kind of softened a lot. They're like kind of just like goofy guys with beards that talk funny, right?
That's true. Thanks
The
to
parrots. Yeah,
thanks to the Pirates of the Caribbean series. Like we're all
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
um,
Just
I declare parlay.
yeah, yeah. And the Buccaneers. To me, the Buccaneers, they're pirates.
Yeah,
Buccaneers are pirates, but they
another one.
just have better. They just have better publicity. They just have better PR. That's all.
Yeah.
And the pirates,
Raiders are also pirates. It's just different words for pirates. We have
yeah, Raiders, and
Raiders,
they're
Buccaneers.
just. But the Buccaneers have great. It's just such better PR. It's like they figured out that no, we're not pirates.
Yeah,
We're we're Buccaneers.
you could also use swashbucklers. You could be a swashbuckler.
Swashbuckler. Yeah,
Be like the Minnesota
yeah,
swashbucklers.
yeah,
Uh, bucket. You could be the Minnesota bucket swabbers. Whatever.
yeah, yeah.
um,
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm thinking of
oh,
baseball. The Braves, the Braves, the Braves. Are they still the Atlanta Braves?
um,
Because
well, they were.
that's sort of okay. I don't know. Who am I to say? But it sounds okay. Braves. It's not derogatory at all or anything. Braves. You're a brave person.
Well, no. The Braves is a term for Native American warrior, and
Yes.
they're brave. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, that one. I don't know. To me, like Chiefs and Braves, you got to get and college football Seminoles. Seminoles is a tribe, so
Yes.
to me, you need to get permission. Maybe they're fine if you get permission from
Right.
the Seminoles have to get permission from the Seminole tribe, I think, to use that. Like it has to be, approved by them. And of course, this day
Yeah.
and age, they'd probably take the money and say, "Yeah, that's fine."
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
No. Yeah, I agree. And yeah, yeah, that makes sense because culturally we have been acclimatized or brought up in a way that we accept that. But you wouldn't do that for anything else, other people. You wouldn't say like the Chicago polls, you know, would you? So it sort of is the same thing. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Um, so just to finish off here, so welcome, Sean. We are finishing up a podcast because nobody was here. Um, so banana slugs are the on the list of odd mascots. Yeah, the banana slugs, Santa Cruz. The
Yeah.
horned frogs, TCU, which is something. The one I was thinking of with the um, they're like the fighting. What are they? Okay, they're giving.
Oh, the Fighting Irish. How about that?
Oh yeah, Irish. Okay, so they've. Yeah, I don't know. Perhaps white people don't need permission to use like Scots or Irish or something. I'm not sure. At least not yet. There's one they're giving me for the clams. They're giving me one called the gooey duck, which is a type of
Mm.
saltwater clam. But that's not the one I'm. There's another one. I'll have to look into it further. But there's some
There's
really strange mascots out there.
Piedmont High School up here in the Bay Area. They're the Highlanders.
Yeah, there's
Highlanders, that's
definitely
Scottish.
you definitely get like Highlanders around and
Yeah.
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 All right, that's it for now.
Thank
We're
you.
we're gonna do some improv.